I'm so happy you're here today. And I'm so excited to talk about your album because I was listening to it. And can I tell you, Water Slide is something, special. Yes, I asked for it. Well, and because I think you're a remarkable artist. And I feel like if we're going to have this conversation about your album, I want to hear it and feel it and experience this. I love Water Slide. Well, I have a bunch of ones that I love.
You.
No Better. Ooh, no.
Yeah, with CK. Thank you. Yeah. Keep going.
All
of
of
lot
it.
of people have heard the album, so hearing you say you heard it and your faves, I want to know. What
Flow,
else?
of course. I like A Dry Red.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Phenomenal.
Yes, with Doechii.
Phenomenal.
My girl.
You know what? I didn't realize you got explicit with the lyrics. like it was over. I was like, okay, there's like a good body of just, hey, confidence, right? And just feeling a certain kind of energy. What would you say for this album is different than previous albums that you've put out? And I am looking forward to this. I want everyone to hear this and experience this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I've tapped into my well of like freedom when it comes to writing and just welcoming and embracing all of me. You know, I think that I'm working in all of me, you know, the past versions meet the new ones, meet the newer versions of Janelle Monae. This album, though, how I created it was really, really beautiful and a little different than I've created my last album. So in the pandemic, I have these friends who host this party collective called Everyday People. Have you been to an Everyday People party?
I've heard about it. I've never been.
Okay, if you have not been, it's like a global party, Black and brown people from all over the globe, from Ghana to Nigeria, South Africa, Jamaica, the Caribbeans, New York, LA, Atlanta, Midwest. Like, it's Pan-African, it's the diaspora all coming together to party in a safe space. They did not have a venue one time during the pandemic, and so I offered my space, Wonderland, up. I was like, oh, okay, y'all, well, come here, you know. I was like, we can't have everybody, but let's like have, you can handpick some people, and let's celebrate, let's party, and we'll test everybody, we'll do things safely. And to look around at all those people, all of us, all of the beautiful brown and Black people just enjoying themselves, feeling free, feeling safe enough to be them, to connect with somebody, to shoot, come dry, leave wet, clothes on from 4 to 2 a.m., but then we in the jacuzzi, and like a very safe space for us, free from police coming in. You know, we have, obviously, I'm a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, so I felt safe. Black women felt safe. It was just like, such a wonderful experience. And I said, I want to create a soundtrack to our lifestyle.
And this is it.
And this is it. This is it.
You can feel it. It sounds heavenly. That was the way I could describe it. For me, it was heavenly. It was peaceful. It was serene. And, you know, spicy. Yes. But I felt heavenly. I feel like this is probably, I don't know, I'm just picturing, what does peace and free sound like? And this is what I think it sounds like. And I feel like you did an amazing job capturing this on The Age of Pleasure, which...
That means a lot. That means a lot.
Did you struggle at all creating this, where you felt like, oh, you know, I know people might expect something else, or...
I had a time of my life. What we did was, if we knew I went to go shoot Glass Onion, and then I came back and we started throwing more parties together. And I was like, okay, if we know the party's going to happen on that Friday or that Saturday, Monday or Tuesday, I hit the studio with my friends. I made this album with my friends, for my friends. So I was like, I want them to want to play it at the party. And I was like, we're going to do it Monday or Tuesday, have the songs ready, put it on, do not tell anybody it's me, and let's just see, like, sort of, if people are going to stand on the dance floor, I need people Shazamming, and if they're not on the dance floor Shazamming, it's not going on the album. So I kind of like crowd tested it with the people I intended for it to be you
Yeah.
know, for it to be for. For it to be for, you know,
I got
who
you.
I wanted
Yep.
it to be for.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I did that with Float. I did that with Know Better. I did all the songs like this. And some people knew it was me, but I was seeing people walking around like,
What is
who's
this?
that? Whose song is it? And I was like, yes, 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 yes. So that's really it. I was like, I made this for a specific group of people. And if we f with it, that was it. That was my North Star.
I love when you said that you made it for your friends, because right now, like, my heart skipped. I was like, wait, am I a friend? Because I feel like,
Yay.
because I enjoyed it.
Are.
Thank you. I enjoyed it that much. And I love that the intentions were that, and you can hear it and you can feel it. And obviously the visuals set a different tone. And, you know, I'm sure, listen, you broke the internet. I must have stared at that. When I looked at the video, when it was the teaser for Lipstick Lover, I was like, wow, remarkable. Did you
Thank
know
you.
the internet was just going to be upside down when you dropped it?
Honestly, it was shot in my space, in our space. Like it's what I just described
Yeah.
to you. Those were the people. 90% of everybody that was in the video was a friend. My family, my friends, you know, and it's just a reflection of us, you know. The Age of Pleasure is a movement, and I wanted people to see the movement that is happening. When Black people can have a safe space, what do we look like? I also shot it on 8mm, 16mm, and the reason that was important is because throughout history, when I looked back or tried to find footage in film of us, we were either being hosed down by the police or dogs were biting us. We were not seen in our Black joy and free from having to have our life experience paired with oppression. And it was really important for me to document during this day and during this age of pleasure that we lived and we loved.
I think it's amazing that you bring so much joy to everyone. At the same time, how do you take care of you? Because it's a lot. That's a lot to carry, even though you do it so gracefully. How do you take care of yourself?
Well, I definitely rest. You know, being in the age of pleasure is also about resting and doing what feels good to my body. Like I'll know if I've been doing too much to where I need to just pull away, go to myself. I'm a lot more introverted than people think because of sort of my my work and my purpose is in service and being of service. It's important that I strike that balance. It's something that I realize, like, I need to make sure that I'm pouring into myself and reading more and just like having more quiet time in the midst of a celebration. That's important. And I have an emotional support coach. Some would say therapist, but I call her an emotional support coach. And I want to just say that I think that therapy should be free for everybody. Like therapists should get paid more, teachers, nurses. We can go on and on, right? But I think that our mental health, like we're going to go get tune-ups on cars and, you know, all of that. We need to be in tune and getting tuned up mentally and making sure that we're safe internally, because that to me determines your quality of life. And I cannot tell you, it has done wonders for me to be able to, you know, have a safe space. And when I do need to be poured back into, them knowing how to do that for me.
It's interesting when you said rest. And, you know, I feel like we're in an industry that's so, what's next? What are you going to do next? What happens? Are you going to get another acting gig? What's the next project? What's the next, right? Yeah. So how do we disconnect from that? And not asking like, because I want you to be a therapist, but I think that can apply to a lot of people, not in our industry, but just in general. At what does it take to finally look and say, hey, I need rest?
Yeah. This project is like, it's a reflection of my life. You know, the age of pleasure. It's not the other way around where you make the music and you become that. No, like this is my earth experience, actively centering joy and rest and pleasure is something that I'm calling my own self to task to do. And the team also has to understand that. So like, if you are a part of my team,
Right.
it doesn't work if holistically I don't feel balanced.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so we just have to create a schedule that allows for that and not being afraid to say no. I definitely have been afraid to say no a lot of times in my career. I mean, you know,
Gosh.
especially when I'm an entrepreneur, like
Yes.
you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. You
That's
know,
right.
you have to think about those things as an artist. And I've been an independent artist. I've been poor before. I know what it's like to sleep on a couch and all those sorts of things. So you have that sort of anxiety of going back to that. But it's like when I simplify things and I put into perspective what matters to me, then some things I'm just going to have to say no to and just take. I have to just know that feeling overwhelmed or having that spirit of anxiety or too much on my plate, it actually does not give me the quality of life that I need. I'd rather just keep it simple then, you know, just like keep it simple.
It takes a while to get to that point, though, for sure. And I love that it's okay to say, hey, it took me a while to get to this point, to set boundaries. But also on the project, I feel the boundaries. Maybe it's the confidence, right, of being clear of what you want, what you don't want, what you might be interested in. There's something behind the confidence on this that I love.
Thank you. I'm happy. Thank you for seeing me. You must see it in yourself too.
I hope so. I'm a new mom, so any confidence I could get,
listen,
sign me up.
Right. I got to tip my hat to you.
Thank you.
You know, I don't have children yet, but I can only imagine.
It's a lot.
I can only imagine the sort of like, you know, guilt you may feel or the lack of me time you may have and the guilt around trying to have me time.
Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine, you know what I mean? But, you'll find
real.
that balance.
Yeah, we're getting there, right?
We're getting there. It's all a journey.
Yeah.
And I can't say like, oh, I have everything figured out. Like that's a lie. Like my evolution is a journey, you know, just thinking back over, you know, my sort of my career and life. There are levels of confidence, you know, like there's one year where you think like, I'm confident, I know what I'm doing. And you tap into that next level and you're like, oh, I thought I knew what I was doing. It's a whole nother world here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of the evolution, you know, I think for some people, they were just like, oh, wow, you're showing more of your body. And so many of us are just so like, wow, this is amazing, because we enjoy the evolution, because we're all evolving, right? So to see someone share that and be so vulnerable, were you nervous at all? Were you just like, or were you just like, hey, here I am. It's a part of me.
Yeah. I think I didn't feel safe before showing this side of myself. I didn't feel safe because I'm in a system that was never built for me to feel safe. We are under patriarchy. We are under, you know, like we're in a conservative country. You know, it's supposed to not be, but where I'm from, I grew up conservative. I grew up, you know, Baptist. I grew up like most young girls. I'm non-binary, but growing up as a daughter, who was always told to like, don't show your skin, don't show too much cleavage. People won't take you seriously. You know, it'll overpower your message because they'll be drawn to that versus what's in here. And I was always told that. And I was always scared to be that person. And then, you know, when I decided to press back against the sort of like gender norms of how to be presentable, or not even presentable, but when I started to wear my tuxedo and suit to honor my parents, there were so many people who projected things onto me. You know, like I can't tell you the amount of times that when I was wearing my suit, so many people would say, oh, you're so pretty. Look at your shape. You should wear a dress. You should show more skin. You should wear a skirt, like be more girly. You're not feminine. Take off that Monopoly suit. You would be so much cuter and prettier if you just dressed more like a girl. I would get those projections. And I felt like I had to defend covering up, or defend, not even covering up, but wearing my suit. I was like, I feel sexy in my suit. I don't necessarily have to go into to what you look at as a traditional way of being feminine to find my sexy. Whether I'm showing skin or not, I'm the sex sales. I have the sex sales.
Yes.
And it took me a while to just sort of not feel the need to explain that, you know? And I'm so happy I don't.
Yeah. Back to the trailer, just a little bit. How many people were in your DMs after seeing everything?
Oh my God. You know, and that's a whole thing too, because as people are learning more about me, I'm also learning a lot more about people.
Ooh.
I'm learning a lot about people, what they're drawn to, how they sexualize you.
Ooh.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? How
Right.
they actually sexualize you and how they now see you sexy.
Interesting. Have you, I don't know, I don't want to say lost respect, but have you just been like, duly noted, you know?
Yeah, I don't even, you know, it's, I have learned that not everybody's evolution is on the same
Sure.
level as mine. And I'm not saying that I am this person who, you know, gets it right all the time, or I'm so evolved and on some next level that, you know, I have all the answers. But I will say that there's a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to making people feel safe, making folks who over bodily autonomy. That's what it's about. You know, being able to understand that non-binary people, trans folks, Black women have not been safe in this country. And everything that we do to express our liberty and our freedom is not always about you. It's about us. It's about making sure that we're not betraying our own bodies. When we've betrayed our bodies, our mothers sometimes have, our grandmothers, our ancestors have had to, you know, like they have had to do certain things and not have control of their body because of white supremacy, patriarchy, people abusing their power. And I think for me to be here in this day and age, the way that I think, how I think, I just don't think in that system, because I see and I understand it, and I will always sort of go inward with myself and not allow projections, not allow the immaturity of some people's growth to get in the way of my joy.
The trailer where you're asking people, what does the age of pleasure mean to them? I love the vibe. Very MTV vibes to
Yes.
it. I loved that.
Thank you.
What does it mean for you? The age of pleasure.
Age of pleasure. Ooh. Well, I've definitely been in my age of fear, my age of anxiety.
Oh.
We've been in the age of, you know, chaos. And now I feel like even though we will never be in a world where there isn't chaos, that there isn't anything heavy, you know, going on, even in the midst of that, you have to find your joy. You have to make your beauty.
That's right.
In the words of Maurice White from Earth, Wind, and Fire, if there ain't no beauty, make some beauty. And that's the space that I'm in, you know, carving out time to read a book as the rain is falling, making time for that, realizing that's just as important as going to go, you know, get a bag or go work or having moments with my friends where I'm really present. I spent a lot of my life not being present. Yeah. Being what's next.
That's right.
You know, and trying to perfect a moment versus being in the moment. Trying to perfect the future and design it how I want to design it in the middle of being at a party, you know, or in the middle of celebrating. I'm supposed to be celebrating. So I'm tuned in a lot more to being present, and it's a movement. Like I feel so many people, especially as we've sort of navigated through this pandemic, I feel the shift where folks are either, well, I feel the shift of people ready to find their community, find their safe space, and go on this journey of self-love and self expression, and doing it with the people you love and feel comfortable with, and letting that be enough. Finding your pleasure unapologetically. And I keep mentioning the word safe, but for me, there is no pleasure without safety.
I love
without
that.
feeling safe. Yeah.
Absolutely. 3 words to describe your album. I know it's tough. It's only 3 words.
I don't know. You tell me.
Safe.
I'll take
Free.
that. I'll agree.
I like how I'm like safe,
I agree.
free, peaceful. I enjoy that. I really enjoy the vulnerability to be at peace and do what you want. It's something about that. And to hear your voice, and obviously this is your creation, and the instruments and everything that's behind it, you could just tell there was so much care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could feel that you poured your love into this. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't, hey,
I'm listening to you, but I'm like, it's not even like you're saying it to me. I'm just like, I want to hear that album too. And I'm like, oh,
yes.
Oh, okay, I can hear it.
It doesn't feel like you had an album to put out. And we all know that, look, those situations are real. This is a business, but this didn't feel like that. This felt like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do. Oof. And either you're with it or you're not, but that's okay. I'm going to be in my heavenly, peaceful place.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's like once you experience that level of peace and getting in tune with your inner voice, for me, one of my affirmations is like my inner voice is the loudest voice that I hear and that I listen to. It's not like you don't take the compliments, the critiques. You're like, okay. But how I think about myself at the end of the day and how I love myself through every evolution is so important.
Yeah.
And that happiness is not, I don't get that. I used to think it was wait on this to come in, that's coming. It's like it has to be a muscle that you use. And I think what you are probably feeling is that.
Yes.
Of where I am. I mean, you can tell a lot about an artist, well, me, through their work. And there have definitely been times where, as I'm creating, because music is therapy for me, so whatever I'm pushing out, it's going to shine through. Like even looking back, when I don't want to let people in because I don't feel safe, I will make records that may not be as open, because I didn't feel safe.
Right.
But I wanted, I had something to say, and I just had to honor where I was at that time and at that space. So I love your word. Safe, free, peaceful. I would say fun.
Yes.
It's very fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like when I think about how, how it cured, because the parties that we would have would be from like 4 p.m. to 6 in the morning. So I sort of wanted to soundtrack. That's what I look at it as, like not an album, a soundtrack to a lifestyle. And so when you're playing it, if you're not on vacation, I want you to feel like you teleported to an island.
Yes.
If you are on vacation, I want you to be playing it with your friends. I want you to say like, no, this the vibration that we're on. That's my hope, is that people are listening to it, owning it like it's theirs. And they're having fun with it. They're having joy, that in the midst of them having whatever work, or it's their balance. It is their peace.
Yes.
It's their pleasure.
What song on this soundtrack do you feel, I don't know, that closest to? Or just one that is just very special? It's just, you hold it near and dear to you.
Honestly, it's crafted in a way that like it travels as one.
It does.
Unit.
It does.
But it with so many different sort of sides. You know how you flip it. but all of them equally as important. I guess I'll say, like, I'm happy the first song is Float, because I think in order to go into the age of pleasure, to float into the age of pleasure, you have had to let some things go.
Yes.
You know, and for me to show up and be fully present and be able to celebrate, I had to get to a point where I was happy, where I was able to take it in and to see the beauty and not be focused on anything else other than that. Like, not, yeah, I'm here, I'm present, I'm lighter, I'm a little wiser, I have new eyes, you know, I have a new perspective, and I won't miss this moment.
What's the one thing that you had to let go of that was the hardest for you, but it liberated you to be where you are now?
I guess the need to be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Yes.
You know what I'm
But I
talking
can't
about?
even imagine you as an artist who just wants to give so much.
Yeah. I was definitely hard on myself always. Like, there were moments where I would just be super hard, and I had to get to the bottom of, like, why is that? Why are you giving this person more grace than you're giving yourself?
Right.
What is it about me that I don't deserve grace? What is it? And once I started to investigate that, and just, because it was keeping me in a prison, like literally just here, trying to not make a mistake, or trying to, if it wasn't exactly in my head how I wanted it to be artistically, interview, whatever, I was just like, I failed. It's trash. And what was that from? And so once I got, you know, to the bottom of all of that, and I realized that we live in a matrix that was created. Certain systems were created and designed for us to feel how I'm feeling. And I also have a matrix in my own mind that I've created about who I could be or what I can't do. And once I realized, like, you can make a mistake.
That's right.
You're still an incredible person. Like, you still have a lot to say.
Yeah.
You don't have to get everything right. You can be a beginner. You can give yourself grace. Yeah. And I think the more I started sitting in gratitude for an opportunity to have another day, to be something different, to reimagine who I could be, that mentality, that way of thinking sort of opened up a whole nother world for me. Because I reprogrammed my mind.
Do you think that helped you even with acting?
I mean, I think my identity, you know, being non-binary, like saying those words out loud, knowing it, having language to support it, having community to support it, helped me. I didn't have to think about life in a binary. I didn't have to I didn't think about art in such a binary. And I consider myself to be pretty eclectic and out there and free, but there were even things that I wasn't giving myself permission to do, because I was like, no, I can only do this. I can, but I'm like, no, I'm all owning all of me. I'm showing up as all of me. I'm not turning off parts of myself to, you know, to make anybody feel more comfortable. Nobody, and if nobody is being harmed in the making of Janelle Monae, then everything should be good.
Yes. You know, you've been on the forefront of everything, just so you know, robots, AI. Do you look back now and you're like, I was right. I was right. It's okay. It's okay to brag. I'll brag for you if we must. But, you know, when you look at Dirty Computer and you're looking at Electric Lady and just these things, and you're like, I was right.
Yeah, you said it. I'm happy you brought this up. I mean, I've dedicated pretty much my whole career to speaking about AI and androids and the singularity. And, you know, it's another thing. People would be like, why are you talking about this? Just do something straight this way and this way. You know, that would be certain things that I would hear, even though I had so much support, so many sci-fi fans. And, you know, that's always my love as a writer. I'm a writer. So it's like, as much as I can also write about me, I also can write about characters, and I can do metaphors, and there's just levels to who I am. and I'm proud of the work that I've done.
Yes.
I also think that we are in sort of like, I think like this last real summer before we start getting fully integrated with AI. I mean, we're already seeing it now with ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we're going to have an election next year. Everybody should be engaged. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so much at stake, especially for the LGBTQIA plus community, even Black folks. Like, this is, I'm telling you, it's getting serious. We got to be alert. I will say, putting out this project, going into this age of pleasure this summer, feels like a perfect time.
That's right.
To like take advantage of it. Take advantage of this time. Enjoy it. It's going to go. How are you going to make the most of it?
Yeah.
How are you going to find your pleasure?
I thank you for taking the time being here. We're always cheering for you. We're rooting for you. I'm so happy to see you in such a beautiful, peaceful space. And the confidence and the clarity behind everything you have to say. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing so much with us. I really appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate you so much. And congratulations on everything. I do have 2 questions.
Yes.
Or 1 question.
Yeah.
What are you going to bring into this age of pleasure?
I want to bring grace to myself. As a new mom, I want to enjoy all the things of being free and being happy. And, you know, when you're a new mom, you're like trying to figure it out. But this is a time where I feel I need to give myself the grace that I need to take my time to get to that place. Because it takes a second after you bring a human to this world. You know, there's hormones.
Your body's changing.
Everything's changing. So I think giving myself the grace that I desperately deserve. Not just need, I deserve, and I've earned it. You know?
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm going to bring.
I love that. Well, I affirm you.
Yes.
I affirm you. And the age of pleasure.
That's right.
Is here.
We're here.
We're here, baby.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my love.
Of course.